We start with the Chronicle this morning. There's a photo of the IGP on the front page. Sharing of loot blew the cover of Adabraka Gold Robbers. The story is there with some details on pages 3 and 8. There's also a photo of KCL Atufosin, the acting Minister of Defense, and he's also the Finance Minister. The story says non-payment of gratuity, pension, retired soldiers unhappy with the Chief of Defense Staff. Now, more from the Chronicle. Cuts advocates setting up of Accra City Transportation Authority. This, they believe, would help us plan transportation within the city better and prevent some of the things we've been seeing over the past few months. And Anod Dompre launches tree planting drive to green in Sawam Adwedri.
The Business and Financial Times for this morning, Senyo Hosi commends government for CD appreciation disputes, claim IMF drove 2025 turnaround. ARB Apes Bank appoints Curtis Brento as acting MD, and Prudential Bank shines again in customer experience rankings. The big one, GRA bets on AI to lift customs revenue by 45%, and AI Customs 2 targets undervaluation as billions lost to misclassification. That's all on the front page. Back page, Africa Real Estate Festival launched to drive sustainable urban development across the continent, and GIPC to host regional investment roadshows in central and western regions.
If we go to the Daily Democrat, Dr. Johnson Esiama expresses hope for growth and stability in 2026. That is the governor of the Bank of Ghana. He says that 2025 was a difficult year, but with discipline, they ensured recovery, and 2026 is for growth and stability of the currency and the economy. Now, Ministry of Education refutes claims against Haruna Idrisu. Chebi Zongo installs new chief, and Ghana and Japan explore new investment opportunities. NPA is also commending the Tema Oil Refinery for rapid revival. Nana Ode Opare II says, we have only one Okobeyeye, not Samsam Okobeyeye.
Anyway, the daily guide for today: choose a winnable candidate. Kenny Japan. Ofuriatta worried over return as Maslog boss faces U.S. court January 21. Supreme Court sets guidelines for post-divorce properties sharing, and I hope that many of you have seen, those guidelines are set out by Justice Akabuafo. I know it's gotten a lot of men excited, but also on the front page, Ayawaso East by-election on March 3rd.
If you go to the publisher, Unibank case, no theft, no personal gain. This is according to the Attorney General. Place your confidence in me, Dr. Baumia is telling NPP delegates, and the minority is calling for the dismissal of the NACA, of the heads of NACA, and Ghana to host 2026 Africa Real Estate Festival.
The Republic Press, Brian Sheikh Zakra insists Baumia-Ken rivalry could sink NPP. NPP women deflate Kenya Japan, dare him to carry out threats now. 34 escaped death in a Suboi highway crash, and 2 engineers die in bulldozer crash at Big Push project site. Police assistant arrested over Asena Kote hospital attack, and 8-year-old girl risk amputation after teacher allegedly forced her legs into hot water.
Yeah, up and around the Shai area.
So that's it for the Republic Press.
Yeah. Now, if you go to the Today newspaper, EC schedules March 3 for Ayawaso East by election, and Catholic bishops are petitioning for the audit of the curriculum over gender identity content in teachers' manual, so the Ghana schools curriculum. Yeah.
The custodian, choose a winnable candidate, Kenya Japan to NPP. Baumia faces 4 NPP aspirants NDC on January 31. Tampoli presents girls' dormitory dining hall to Gushegu SHS. Anodom plants trees to green in Samaidweji, and Ghana to host 2026 Africa Real Estate Festival. All on the front page of the custodian.
The Ghanaian Point, NPP presidential race, ballot papers to be printed tomorrow. And Brian Champon says that I am the only one who can unite NPP for 2028 victory. Woon to me is also telling the NPP delegates, choose candidates who can win power in 2028. And Esuedun Ketia is assuring Ghanaians that NDC does not take votes for granted. It's still on a thank you tour. And those are some of the stories from the Ghanaian Point.
Now, Ken, Critical Moment says, Ken for court tomorrow as he faces deportation from USA. So that's Ken Oforiatta. NPA Boss Hills Tour Management, Nungwa Stool warns prospective land buyers over Okpelo Soadin, Asamoah Properties, and Ben Asante and stood as Joansa Manhine also. And Professor Jampo seeks Asante Hine support for Bonkra project completion.
I'll go to my Joe Online first. Gold for reserves losses should be in the national budget. This is the IMF telling us that the losses we've made in the gold for reserves should be in the national budget. Now, there is this debate online about the price floor set by the NPA when it comes to petroleum pricing. There are some people who believe that the price floor should be removed. There are others saying that no, it should be maintained. And there's an article on my Joe Online by Gabriel Te Ali. He says why Ghana must maintain the NPA's price floor in the petroleum market. You remember that the CEO for Star Oil posted on Facebook over the weekend that he believes that if the price floor is removed, OMCs can actually reduce their prices further for consumers. Now, the GOIL CEO says that the price floor is necessary to maintain some equilibrium in the space, and anybody who wants to remove the price floor, who wants to reduce their fuel prices, should actually reduce to the current price floor to show that they really want to do. So it's a debate. People agree, people disagree. It's going on and on and on.
Well, I see. Well, the thing for me is that every 2 weeks, right? Okay, that's okay. In the past, we've actually seen a situation where prices were going up on the world market.
Yeah.
And some OMCs increased it. Even before then, they said it because they couldn't wait. My fear is that in the midst of profiteering, there's a possibility that sometimes when prices are going up on the world market, they would be increased immediately, which could also hurt. So let's just wait and see.
So in this case, do we rather need a price ceiling or a price floor? Maximum you can go, not a minimum you can go, because it's about the offering by a business. So if they can go down and still remain profitable, why not for the consumers? But the maximum
I think that's something that it's also to curb unfair competition.
Okay.
Because some OMCs could actually reduce further and hurt others. I'm a consumer, and I'd prefer price ceiling instead of a floor.
Do we not want our OMCs to be as efficient in their operations as possible to reduce their costs so they don't have to pass that on to us? So if you remove it, everybody must find a way of cutting down costs and to stay competitive. Okay. We tried to do something in the telco space when MTN was designated as a significant market player, and they were forced to increase their prices to a certain point, hoping that it will help other telcos. But we've not seen any significant change in the system. And I believe that actually helped MTN to get some windfalls. So in a consumer space, maybe we need to have this national conversation as to these price regulations and how we can effectively regulate the space to ensure the consumer always gets the best value.
Well, I mean, like I make the point, I would accept everything that makes the consumer better, that helps the consumer. But sometimes also you need to ensure fair competition. And I see that's what the NPA is trying to do. But when I read Philip Tieku's comment, for instance, what I actually see is has to do more with the pricing window. Because yes, beyond the floor, he also makes reference to the pricing window, which suggests that, look, I can actually reduce 2 or 3 times within a pricing window. Why would I have to wait before I do that? And that's why I think you can do that. Go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
If you can do that, go ahead and do it. I mean, the whole bit of a pricing window is to ensure that you don't change prices arbitrarily. Okay. But if it's in the interest of the consumer, why NPA will not fault you for that.
It would be great to hear Eduji's position on this, the MPA's position on this, and how they are going to face regulation in a changing market, right? The market got to a certain point and certain decisions had to be made because of our macroeconomic challenges and all those things. Now, what can the NPA do in the face of growth, stability, and sustained strength of the cedi and the rebound of our economy. I think it would be nice to hear from the NP on this. Now, more stories from my Joe Online. AFCON 2025, Senegal beat Morocco to win the title. They really deserve this. I wanted Morocco to win, but I think Senegal, Charlie. And Sadio Mane, respects to him. Analysis scrutinizing Ghana publishing companies' profitability. If you want to know how profitable the Ghana publishing company is, we have done some analysis on there, and you'd want to check that out. Driver injured in accident on a Josu Menchia at the Dientem Road. That's one of the accident hotspots, the Yaokwe stretch, and we would entreat all drivers on our highways to be very careful when they get to those hotspots. Now, public lands should be managed by Lands Commission, Dr. Godwin Jokoto speaking, and 34 injured as bus crashes at Esuboy on the Accra-Kumasi Highway. So those are some of the stories on My Joy Online. Let's go to citynewsroom.com. Unemployment emerges as Ghana's biggest risk for 2026, despite the easing inflation. This is something we also need to look at. How are we creating new jobs, sustainable jobs for the youth? It's a big deal. And IMF extension key to Ghana's orderly exit. This is Prof. Bobkin speaking. HKC Prempe says building hospitals is not DVLA's job. You know, the DVLA job says they want to build a driver's hospital, because VRA has a VRA hospital, Bank of Ghana has a bank hospital, Senate has a Senate hospital, other institutions. So DVLA also wants to build a dedicated hospital for drivers. And HKC Prempe says, it is not the DVLA's
Well, I
job.
do not mind if they have the funds to build a hospital. They can.
It only adds on to our healthcare infrastructure.
Exactly. I don't have a problem. The bank hospital is serving Ghanaians, so why not?
Anyway, more stories. Kumado is saying that segmentation and regulation is key to effective gun control. So those are some stories from citynewsroom.com. We can get some of the
Yes,
details.
let's get into
from
the details. Yeah.
Let me bring the story from the Daily Democrat on the Bank of Ghana governor's speech. The governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Esiedin. I nearly said Johnson Esiedin Ketia.
Go ahead.
Dr. Johnson Esiama has expressed optimism about Ghana's economic prospects in 2026, signaling a shift from a difficult period of adjustment to one of consolidation, discipline, and sustained stability. He was speaking at his first New Year media engagement as governor on Friday at the Bank Square in Accra, and he said the painful policy choices of 2025 had begun to yield results, restoring macroeconomic stability and rebuilding confidence in the economy. So that's on the Bank of Ghana governor.
Great. The daily guide for today. Let's go to page 3. Oforiatta worried over a 10. That's according to Envoy Smith. And we're told Ghana's ambassador to the United States, Victor Smith, has disclosed that former Finance Minister Ken Oforiatta is worried about how he would be treated if he returns to Ghana to face legal processes amid investigations involving the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Now, Mr. Smith said concerns about Oforiatta's safety and treatment were relayed to him not by the former minister directly, but by his cousin Gabi Asari-Otredako. And according to the ambassador, Gabi contacted him to express anxiety over how Mr. Oforiatta would be handled if he returned to Ghana. And there's a quote: "I assured him that everybody goes through due process in this country. No one is going to be attacked or harassed," Mr. Smith said, adding that assurances from the Attorney General were that the former Finance Minister will be treated in line with law like any other person. Okay, so the Attorney General has also indicated that the lawyers of Ken Oforiatta contacted him and demanding whether he would have a fair trial once he gets to Ghana. Well, but why does Ken Oforiatta need those assurances? Does he think that he will not be giving a fair hearing in Ghana, hence his unwillingness to come? If you ask me, if Ken Oforiatta had come to Ghana, look, all those involved in the SML case are on bail.
Yeah.
Okay, if he had come to Ghana, all of these things about, FBI and as in some international dealings wouldn't even arise.
Yeah.
All he needed to do was to come to Ghana. The point about those, those who've served before is that wherever you are, if you are needed to account for your stewardship, please come.
Come to the jurisdiction where you served.
Come, and we will all follow the case. Why? People will be in the court to... if it's not going well, and at the end of the... I trust that our system Well, Atufosin and Jakpa were taken to court. They went on an appeal that they filed for a no case and they felt that they didn't have a case. The appeals court said yes, they have no case to answer. Now, this was at the time that everybody felt that these people were going to be jailed. But the appeals court said, hey, you know what, High Court, you erred. They have no case to answer. So, I mean, you can trust that our judiciary will do the right thing.
So Ken should get on the next available flight and come back home and go through the law.
He should save himself, the stress. He should come.
Okay, let me take you to page 7 of the Chronicle. NIMOS cripples illegal mining operations in Western Region. And the story says the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, in collaboration with Blue Water Guards, has recorded major operational successes in the Western Region following sustained enforcement actions carried out between 16th and 17th January 2026. Now, whilst NIMOS carries out this action, this morning we bring you the Hotline documentary. And our Bui Dam is under threat. Galamsey activities is putting Bui under threat. Why have we allowed that to happen around a key national asset like Bui? We bring that documentary to you this morning here on the Super Morning Show.
Great. And GRA bets on AI to lift customs revenue by 45%. So the Ghana Revenue Authority is turning to artificial intelligence for plugging long-standing leakages in customs revenue after a pilot test showed that the technology could lift collections as much as 45% by tightening controls on undervaluation and misclassification of imports. Now, the Revenue Authority's push follows findings in the 2026 budget statement that exposed widespread abuse of import declaration forms between April 2020 and August 2025. More than 525,000 transactions worth about $83 billion passed through the customs systems, but only a small share was linked to actual imports. Now, the audit found that about 31 billion was transferred abroad without goods entering the country, draining reserves and weakening the city. And importers were also found to have underdeclared roughly 76 billion in goods, denying the state about 11 billion of revenue, while some banks processed inflated transfers in breach of central bank limits. So the Commissioner General Anthony Sapon said this decision followed months of negotiation with the service provider and testing the system through a proof of concept and pilot phase, and the outcome, he said, justified both the cost and timing. We've gone through a very rigorous negotiation with the service providers, and we believe that cost the state will be paying for implementing this AI solution will be far lower in terms of value for money from the proof of concept and the pilot that we've done. If you look at those samples alone, revenues are going up between 40